As you can imagine, we see and work with a lot of reactive dogs when owners are taking them out and about in public. Now, potentially could be fear, could be anxiety, could be worry, could be nerves. It could be over sociable, it could be excitement, it could be coming from a scared place or a worried place or an anxious place, or it could be coming from, good girl, coming from a, I just want to play because I'm young and overexcited and I haven't really got my little canine mind around how to be well mannered or how to be sociable in and around anything that is within a public place. So I talk a lot about the power of three. What do I mean by that? Well, we want to teach our dog you can look at anything in the world for 3 seconds. However, you've proved to me if you look at it for longer than three seconds, then that's when you start to stare, and it's that staring that gets you into trouble. You don't know how to control your excitement or your fear, depending on which avenue it's coming from, and you continually make wrong decisions and make wrong choices and always getting it wrong because you don't have the mentality to deal with it effectively. Hence why very, very quickly we've got a dog on the end of the lead reacting for whatever reason it is reacting for. We need to be aware that the lead may be a contributing factor with that as well, that some dogs react more or behave more antisocially when they're on a lead. So power of three, you can look at anything in this world for 3 seconds, mate. However, if you look at it for 4 seconds or 5 seconds, I'm calling your name. I'm redirecting you away from whatever you're potentially becoming fixated upon or overly distracted upon. Call it whatever you like. Good girl. So we're using the dog's name because we've taught the dog the benefit of looking at us when they hear it as a very, very effective low-key way to prevent a reaction or behaviour happening, as opposed to waiting for 6 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds while we're talking to a friend or we're looking on Facebook or Instatok or whatever it is nowadays, allowing the dog to stare, and that is what is getting the dog into trouble. If we've done all that and we've taught the dog the benefit of looking at us when it hears its name, then don't take it for a walk. What do I mean by that? Apologies. I'll try and find out if there's an app that senses this out later. Hey, never mind. Can't control nature. So don't take it for a walk. What do I mean by that? Go to a public place and sit on a bench somewhere. If the dog is really, really reactive, think about the distance that you are sitting by the path that other dogs are going to walk along. Kids on scooters are going to walk along it, etc., etc. Think about the bench and the path that you are sitting on. So we've got to think about distance away from what the dog is becoming fixated or reacting to. Then when we've done that, what we need to do is sit there and allow the dog to process, allow the dog to watch what's going on, allow the dog to process what's going on while you're sitting there watching the world go by. However, when we're sitting there watching the world go by, we're going to call the dog's name. Every time the dog looks at anything which may be a reason or a cause for it to start becoming fixated and potentially work itself up into irrational behaviour, we're going to say, Fido. Fido's going to go, yes. And you're going to put a bit of kibble or a bit of cheese or a bit of something positive in Fido's mouth. So what we're doing is we're coupling a potential nervous, anxious situation with positivity and pleasure. I see the dog, a little bit nervous of the dog. However, if I look at mum or dad, I'm going to get rewarded for doing that. So we're constantly redirecting that behaviour and preventing it as opposed to curing it. Bit of housekeeping going on here. Preventing it as opposed to curing it. So very, very, very beneficial exercise that if your dog is nervous or overexcited or reacts at joggers, kids on bikes, scooters, other dogs, whatever it may be, we don't want to wrap that little dog up in cotton wool and walk the other way, because we're just putting a plaster over the dam. It's never going to work. It's never going to get over that issue. However, we need to help this little dog get over the hurdle and over the issue in a controlled way, where we expose this dog with a positive outlook and a positive spin on it. Oh, mate. Lunatic. With a positive spin on it and a positive angle on it. So in time, when the dog does know the benefit and realise the benefit of looking at us, he's going to go, dog, actually, not that bothered. Because when I see a dog and I look at mum and dad, I get positivity for it. So don't take your dog for a walk if you're addressing or looking at reactivity issues. Take it to the environment where it reacts and displays behaviour that you don't want it to do, and just sit there on a bench and just watch the world go by. Don't mollycoddle the dog, don't coochie-coo it, don't wrap it up, don't make it an issue. Allow the dog to look at anything for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, Fido, yeah, reward.